Oh, hi! You got me playing with my toys. I like to play with figures, what can I say? But playtime's over, it's time for another JW's Pile of Stuff, and we're going to look at some toys, but as you know, the pile of stuff is usually about 5 things that either I've recently purchased or I found in my archives, and archives is a very romantic word for hoarded rooms with totes, Rubbermaid totes. But, nonetheless, it's a fun little couple minutes worth of wrestling memorabilia and toys and general bitchery from me. So here we go. We're going to start out with a promo photo that I always wanted for my collection. It's one of my favorite people, one of my favorite wrestlers, great guy to meet. And I have other promo photos of his, original vintage photos, which I've explained the difference before in case you're not a promo photo person. But it is indeed Haku. And this is the promo photo from 2001, his 2001 return to the WWF when he had the Ming hair. And I actually got to see him live. Wrestle live on it was a SmackDown taping. It was him and Rikishi against The Undertaker and Kane, so that's quite the match to see live. I think that was the only time I saw Haku wrestle live. I think, but I've met him many times. He's just one of my favorites, and I can't believe he didn't make my top 10 favorites of all time. I really don't. I think if I could redo it today, after, I can't do it now after I've listed it so many places. Not that it matters, not that anyone cares, but it matters to me. I'm not going to redo my top 10, but he's definitely in the top 15. I mean, he had it all, and he still does. I mean, he survived to talk about it, and still out there doing things nonstop. Now, I did buy this already signed. It's part of a collection, and he actually wrote all the best, Haku. I think I may have one thing where he wrote something like all the best on there, but it's definitely his signature. I mean, there's no doubt there. And again, this is the original 2001 WWF promo photo of Haku in his Ming look. That's the best way I can describe it. And I do love it. Just such a great photo. Now, you saw me playing. I mean, you caught me. I kind of did the, ooh, you caught me kind of thing. But I was playing with Max Moon. And we all know Max Moon, Paul Diamond, who of course was Kato, and was also with Pat Tanaka and Bad Company. He's a really nice guy also, just like Haku. And a company called KWK Toys, and they do the Kayfabe Heroes, did indeed put out a couple of Max Moon figures. I believe they did an earlier one that they called the Comet Kid. It had a little different decor. I think it had the jetpack thing he wore for, I don't know, a couple matches. But they did reissue their figure, their very Hasbro-esque retro figure, on 2 different cards with 2 different styles. You can see this one here, that's the one you caught me playing with. And they did a kind of a purplish red version also, on a purplish red card. I picked up 2 of the yellow carded and 1 of the other. And I wanted 2 of the yellow carded because I do have a lot of the original yellow card Hasbro signed, and Paul Diamond's still very active in signing, so I figured I could get it signed down the line. As you can see, I mean, this is just, I mean, it's so close to the real thing. It's like being in the ring. I mean, really, it's just like a Hasbro. It's just like a Hasbro yellow card. The back, there's some resemblance, but the front is just, I mean, it's great. It's one of the better looking retro style cards there is. And the thickness, if you're down with the thickness of Hasbro, I mean, you're getting it here. Of course, it's missing the real wrestling action thing, which none of the retros, aside from the Mattel ones, actually have. And it's not really something I miss either. But as you can see, I mean, well, let's look at the loose examples. He has the look, the pose of an original Hasbro. And my gauge as far as the retro figures, since there's so many companies doing them, everybody and their mother is doing them, besides the quality of the figure, is if someone who knows the characters but doesn't necessarily know toys, know the Hasbros, if you put these in a lineup with some original Hasbros, is the person going to say, hey, that doesn't look right? Or are they going to say, hey, I never knew they made Max Moon back then? Or are they not going to say anything at all? It's those latter 2 reactions you want, that the manufacturer wants. You want these to go right in with the Hasbros. And as you can see from that pose, it looks like the Hogan perfect, the suplex pose basically is what it looks like. Perfect, just great. I've had other figures from the KWK line, PN News, and the Conquistadors, which is just so cool that he did those, and he licensed them right from the Jose Luis Rivera and Jerry Estrada, and Jose Estrada, I'm sorry. And, you know, they're very nice too. Maybe we'll show those on a future one. I did have a little bit of, just a little concern in that, and I don't know where along the line this happened. I mean, they were packaged so nice. I'm thinking it's some kind of factory thing, but all three of my cards had dents right there. And again, I'm getting this signed, and it's not really, you know, I'm not the most anal about condition of packaging. I have some figures that look like they're falling off the cards. I mean, old ones, but that I've gotten signed for, you know, rarity's sake. But, you know, it is a little disappointing when you buy something new and there is the damage right there. And like I said, all three cards had those, and the other yellow one, as I hit myself in the face, actually was bent right here as well. So, you know, but, you know, the KWK, I got to give them credit. You know, they're definitely high up in the retro makers. You've got Hastel with Mitch. I tend to say his are number one. He has such a great variety. That I think I like his the best. But then I also love the Epic, which was formerly Shell, the four new Epics that are arriving imminently: Flair, Wyndham, the Barbarian, and Dr. Death. I mean, they're amazing. I can't wait to have those in hand. We might do a whole video just on those. Epic takes a long time. That's the issue. It just seems they take the longest, but great quality, fit right in. You know, the Heenans they did, my God. I mean, this Mattel Heenan that's coming out has a lot to live up to. Let's just put it that way. And the Wrestle Something as well. Wrestle Something wrestlers. I like all the figures they do. They tend to do a little more out of my timeline of what I like to buy. But they're Macho. I call it Macho King. They called it Macho Man, but it's the Macho Man that is based on the Remco hockey game, which would be fun to do a video on. We could get somebody in here and play it. But they did a Macho Man retro style figure based on the Remco hockey game, Macho King. And again, they had to call it Macho Man. I don't know why, but I have it. I love it. I've used it in plenty of figure photography. So that's a little quick review of the retro people. I'm sure I'll be ranting and talking more about that in the future. I can't remember if we've even shown any retros so far. Somebody that is getting a retro also from KWK, or so it seems from what they've been hinting, is Well Done. Timothy Well and Stephen Dunn. Of course, I wouldn't say obscure, but limited. They had a limited run in the WWF in 94 and 95. I think they were there in 95. But Stephen Dunn was also known as Steve Doll. And he has since passed away. He seems to have had some troubles post-wrestling. He was a big Portland guy. And he made it to Japan, as many of the wrestlers do. And this is his autograph. And not a very often seen autograph since he is gone. And it's on a Shikishi board. But what's funny about it is that he signed it on the wrong side. This is the side that you're supposed to sign. This is the side that has like there you can see it, the kind of shiny, glittery back, and I don't know what part of the race paper that is, but yeah, he signed that part, which is just interesting. But it's cool to have his autograph. Again, that was Stephen Dunn of the Well Done tag team that was managed, at least briefly, by Harvey Whippleman, who already has a retro figure through Hastel. And it's a very cool little figure. So, you know, we'll have that to go with our Well Done figures should they be released. Looks like they're going to have little bow ties from the little tees that I saw. And sort of in a sequel to the last video, the last full-length video that we had of early Hulk Hogan, is quite possibly one of Hulk Hogan's first appearances on a record album. Not the Wrestling Boot Band. No, it's from Japan, and it's a single. Hulk Hogan Sings Ichiban, which you can find on YouTube. It's even on Instagram, which not many of the Japanese wrestling songs are, but it's on there. When I posted a picture of this, I was able to have the song playing as well. But yeah, this is a 45 of Hulk Hogan Ichiban. And of course, we all know he had his early days in a garage band in Florida, and you know, he has some stories about, oh, he was going to be in this band or that band or whatever. But yeah, this is kind of a rare 45. I've seen it listed for quite a bit of money for a 45, you know. But I actually managed to get one very cheap. And what's interesting about the 45s in Japan, I mean, maybe some in America are like this too. I have a lot of old 45s, and they have actually the picture sleeves. In Japan, the pictures are actually on a separate sheet, and then the sleeve is here. So Hulk Hogan Ichiban, which of course means number 1. There he is in all his glory. And last, somebody else who's always been number 1 to all of us, especially us in Pittsburgh, and still is number 1 to us in Pittsburgh, is Bruno, the living legend. And you may recognize this as his LJN Wrestling Superstars figure pack-in poster, which everybody has. I picked this up recently, and you may have seen it on my Facebook page. And it's different because, first off, there's the sticker from the packaging, which I thought was a cool little add-on. It's been mounted on this blackboard, and it was signed to Robert, and that's actually Bob Michelucci. Bob Michelucci is kind of a jack of all trades, kind of a Renaissance man, and I attended a living estate sale that he had. He just has massive collections of just pop culture and horror and sci-fi and old TV, old movie memorabilia and autographs and just tons of stuff. He was actually a zombie. Him and his wife were zombies in Dawn of the Dead, filmed not far from my home back in the 70s, I think 77, 78. And he co-authored Bruno's book, which we can pull out sometime. And this is one of the Bruno items that I grabbed from him. And again, you may have seen the pictures of the sale. I did a little advertisement for the sale on Facebook. And there was a picture of me and him holding this after the fact. And I don't normally buy things that are signed to someone else. I have a few. This I bought because it was at a great price for a Bruno autograph for something that I already don't have. I actually don't have any. I have tons of the LJN posters. We all do. I even have some of the photo ones from later. But I don't have the Bruno one. And that's one of the few Bruno things I don't have signed. So, no brainer there. And the fact that it's signed to his co-author, yeah, I mean, that's just, it's one of a kind. It really is. I mean, the item itself may not be, but the fact that it's autographed, and it is just mounted nicely. I mean, I could even see myself putting a frame around this, but there it is. There's the living legend himself, the main event. Of course, some of the other ones said tonight at the Coliseum. I'll have to look into which one said which. I don't really remember, to be perfectly honest. So that's our another pile of stuff. The 5 times pile of stuff. That didn't make any sense. But hey, thanks for watching. Again, as always, these are fun to do. Like and subscribe. Follow on all the socials. I'm JW's Wrestling Memorabilia. That's all you got to type in. You'll find everything from the blog to Facebook to Instagram to, God forbid, you find our Twitter. But it's there, and I'm, bitchy on there as well. And so please enjoy the videos, and see you next time.